Jameson Taillon is back for the Yankees against Spenser Watkins, my guy, who I went against last week. The Yankees, a 230 road favorite here against the O's. The total in this game is 8. Mark, some thoughts on Tailion against Spenser Watkins. Like I said, the guy who does not know how to spell his first name.
Yeah, I wanted to play this in a parlay with that game one of the Dodgers, but I just didn't have a line by the show deadline date. So, or the time rather. So I looked at this game, and I think a good play on this would be to bet the Yankees over team total. It's 4.5. It was minus 130, and that's what I'm going to play it at. I've got the projected runs at 5.76. Gives me a probability percentage of minus 160. So that's pretty good enough value for me based on that. Just real quickly, the Yankees, we talked about how good their offense is. It's second in baseball by my long-term rating. Spenser Watkins, 149th out of 150 pitchers by the BaseWinner rankings. The only guy that's worse is Carlos Hernandez, which I guess we agreed on. Neither one of us had heard of on the Thursday show. We thought he was a boxer.
I've gone against Carlos Hernandez for years. Yeah,
it sounds like a boxer, like a flyweight.
He's been around a while, so
yeah. No kidding. And so anyway, it's almost like seems too easy for me, but like I've looked at the Yankees, they've gone over that 4.5 over the last 2 years. They faced average pitching, and I know it's a small sample, 10 times. They've gone over that 4.5, 6 times. The probabilities are good enough for me. Oh, and one last thing, Spenser Watkins stuff plus not very good, 17 percentile. So to me, that's like it's a rare team total, but I think it's a good opportunity to take the Yankees here.
Yeah, I laid out last time Watkins went. I mean, how many runs this guy's given up? I mean, he's just literally one of the worst in baseball, altogether. And I know we think like, okay, well, the Yankees are going to keep this thing rolling, and not just winning, but just winning on the run line as well too, as we've talked about. And they've won so many games. And when I threw that stat out last week about the best run line team in baseball, they are phenomenal. And we know the Orioles are capable of hitting, but it gets back to the pitching for me that Baltimore is so bad, especially when you're gonna throw Watkins out there once again. So I don't know. To me, again, this seems and I should just do what you did yesterday, Mark, when you take a couple of these $2 favorites and link them together. And I was actually thinking about that, like taking Tampa Bay and the Yankees makes a lot of sense, and turn that into basically an even money play or slightly plus money in that. And I may do that later today as well too. Matt, thoughts on Yankees O's?
So I mentioned it on Friday because I do have a play in this game, and I was lucky. I mean, you don't get 8s very often with the Yankees. I don't know exactly how often, but I mean, when I woke up this morning, it was 8.5, and then it fell to 8, and I jumped on the over because, as I said on Friday, when I'm looking at full game overs, especially a team like the Yankees, I want to guarantee that New York's going to bat 9 times. Batting it, if the Yankees are playing the Orioles at home, they're most likely going to bat 8 times, and I'm not going to get the full potential of this lineup. And so I'm getting a Yankees team that, win or lose, is going to bat all 9 times against Spenser Watkins, who only goes about 4 or 5 innings. And then I'm getting Jameson Taillon, who's faced the Orioles a couple times already this year. He's only gone 4 2/3, and he's given up a couple runs. I don't need a ton of runs from the Orioles in this game. Even if it's a 6-2 game, I push. So I like the over here, and obviously, BaseWinner's team total, I hope he hits because that's going to lead to my game hopefully going over. But this Orioles offense is good enough to give me 1 or 2 runs, and I think the Yankees are good enough to carry the rest of it. So when I saw an 8 this morning on a Yankee road game, I jumped on the over there, and that's my play in this one.
Yeah, and I looked at that exact same thing. Again, I'm not a big Tailion fan, as well too, and more of a play against Watkins. We expect some runs to be scored in this game. So let's lock Matt in with the Yankees over 8 in this one, laying 120, and then the team total for Mark at over 4.5. He's going to lay 130. Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles.